children, welcome back. I am Pratima Singh, your social science teacher from Holy Hearts Educational Academy, Raipur. Today, I am here with another video lesson of history for class 6th. The name of the chapter is The Earliest Societies. The contents of this chapter, which I'll be discussing today, are first, the evolution of man, the Stone Age, and then the Paleolithic Age. In the Paleolithic Age, we will discuss the sources from where we get the knowledge about this age. Then we'll also learn why Paleolithic age man was called a hunter-gatherer and how these people started living in groups. So let us start with the first topic, that is evolution of man. Man evolved very gradually from a stooping ape-like creature. Stooping means the creature which can bend forward and it can get up back. This happened over hundreds and thousands of years. Many physical changes appeared during this period in the man's body. An important change in the human body was the ability to balance his feet and walk straight. When man started walking straight, his hands became free and he could very easily pick up and throw things. His thumb also evolved and it could move in the direction opposite to his fingers. This helped him handle objects better than other animals. The size of the brain also gradually increased and he learnt to understand and adapt himself to his surroundings. At first, he used stones to throw at his prey, for crushing nuts and many more other things. As time passed, slowly and gradually, man also discovered that sharp edges of the broken stones were very useful for cutting and chopping meat, whereas the rounded stones were useful for crushing and grinding things. Thus, man began to make tools and weapons according to his needs. The period during which man widely used stone for making tools and weapons is called the Stone Age. Stone Age started more than 1 million years ago and it covers the longest period of man's existence on earth. Based on the types of tools used, the Stone Age can be divided into 3 periods. They are the Paleolithic Age or the Old Stone Age. Second is Mesolithic Age, or we can call it Middle Stone Age. And the third one is Neolithic Age or New Stone Age. Apart from stone, man also used bones, wood, animal horns to make tools and weapons. Now, in this chapter, we'll learn more about the life of Paleolithic man. The Paleolithic Age was the longest age of the Stone Age. It is divided into 3 periods. The first one is Lower or Early Paleolithic Age, second is Middle Paleolithic Age, and the third one is Upper or Later Paleolithic Age. The names of these periods are based on the depths at which the remains of these periods were found. Remains of the past are usually buried under the soil, decaying vegetation and garbage, which pile up in layers over the years. Hence, when archaeologists dig the ground, they find the remains of the earlier periods at the lower levels and the remains of the later periods at the higher levels. This means that the remains of the early Paleolithic Age are buried deep inside the earth, whereas the remains of the later period are found just below the earth's surface. Now, let us discuss about the sources from where we get to know something about the life of Paleolithic man. So let us discuss the sources. We come to know about the life of Paleolithic people by seeing the archaeological remains like the skeletal remains of animals and man, tools and weapons which were used and made by the people of that time, and also from the paintings made on rocks and cave walls. The archaeological remains of the Paleolithic age have been found in the Son River Valley in Pakistan, the Upper Narmada region and in the Deccan Plateau, and in Atirampakam near Chennai. When an archaeologist studies about the excavated objects, excavated means the dugout objects, he also studies the soil of that region so that he can easily find out about the climate and vegetation of that time. We can get more information about the lifestyle of the people of the Paleolithic age by observing the tribal groups of today, like the Todas of the Nilgiri Hills, the Jarawas and Onjas of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, etc. Because these people are still holding the ancient ways of living. Now, Paleolithic man was a hunter-gatherer. Now, why do we call the Paleolithic man a hunter-gatherer? Paleolithic man lived in caves and rock shelters. He was called a nomad. Now, what is the meaning of nomad? Nomad means a person who wanders from place to place in search of food. So, the Paleolithic man survived by hunting animals, wild animals, birds, fish, and he also gathered wild berries, nuts, roots, and tubers. Hence, he was called a hunter-gatherer. Man was physically weaker and slower than many wild animals, but he could hunt and protect himself from these. Can you guess why? Because of his ability to think, remember, and to understand the animal behavior. While moving from one place to another, man also learned to understand his surroundings. He noticed the change in the vegetation with seasons. They also found what was edible and useful in nature and learned to change things according to their needs. For example, man learned to use animal skin and leaves to clothe himself or to protect himself from the cold, from rainfall and all those things. Man also started using bones, horns and wood for making tools. Living in groups. Earlier man was, as he was a nomad, he was wandering from one place to another. He did not know how to live in groups. Slowly and gradually, Paleolithic man realized the advantage of living in groups. While living in groups, he could hunt large animals, share food, and also provide safety against dangers easily. Groups which were made in Paleolithic age were not very large. All the members of the group cooperated with each other, and this helped them in developing new skills. All the members were equal in the group, and there were no family ties. Outsiders was not easily accepted in the group. The Paleolithic man's life was full of dangers, and so his lifespan was just 20 to 25 years only. I shall discuss the remaining part of this chapter in my next video. Thank you for watching.